Good morning, you guys. It is Friday. It is March 28th, 6:23 a.m. in the morning. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you slept well last night. Mine's just the same old story, different day. Anyway, you guys, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hey, ho. Hey, ho. Happy Friday. So happy it's Friday. Yesterday was pretty crazy, but good at the same time. I logged in. I got the list started just fine. The problem came with assigning certain people to do certain tasks. I saw a message where 2 people were out, but I totally forgot about one person. Anyway, it just, by the time I got everything together, I think I just complicated the list unnecessarily so. But anyway, finally got it figured out. Whereas I wanted the list to be ready by 8 o'clock, 8:15, no later than 8:30. I didn't get the list out till 9 due to making corrections with the signing people. So today I plan on going in there and doing it totally, actually following the same list that I did yesterday, except it'll be pretty much the exact same, except some opens will be unnecessary. I'll just assign a little bit more. So that's how I'll do that. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get the list out this morning much sooner. And then I'm praying that I won't have to get on the phones today. I didn't have to get on the phones yesterday. But I'm praying that I won't have to today because, I got a lot done yesterday. I really did. But after I sign the list, I then have to go in. Well, before even assigning the list, I have to do one of the reports. Actually, 2 reports. 1 report, then assign the list. After assigning the list, I do 2 other reports, right? And then by noon, I do the last report. So the only thing would kind of, make it crazy is if the phones are crazy busy and I end up having to keep being pulled and get on the phones. There are some areas on the phones that I still need to work on, of course. So I have some little cheat sheets hanging up to help me focus on those areas, so that I can improve in those areas with all these dang changes, But yeah, my dad's wife, Guyet, beautiful wife, has invited us to come over this evening for dinner. My 2 granddaughters and my great niece are at my sister's for spring break for the week, and so this will be their last night. Tomorrow my daughter is coming from Wisconsin. She's going to pick the girls up, and I believe my niece is coming to get her daughter Saturday as well, I think. So yeah, so they're going to spend time with them, make dinner for them and things like that. And I have been invited, so I'm definitely going to go because I really didn't get to hang out with them because, I hung out with them a little bit on Sunday, saw them at church. But other than that, I did not. Normally I would try to get over and hang out, but it's been really tough this week. Work has been really busy, and when I get off work, it's just been so draining, and usually there's no vehicle here. I could take the bus and hang out with them, go down and hang out, but like I said, as of late, it's been so draining, mentally and physically. And then with these allergies and things that's going on with me, I just been drained, and I just been going to bed, going to sleep early, and which means I'm up off and on throughout the night. I haven't even really, normally I'll soak, in the bath after work. I haven't done that at all, I don't think, this week. Maybe once, I'm not sure. I don't think at all. But I usually try to wind down, and just soak. My eyes have been irritating me. Yesterday they were red. I have to go and get some groceries in this house, but again, I could have went yesterday. I just did not have the energy. I just didn't have the energy, but I'm going to have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because there's really nothing in there. Like I said, even with my coffee, I'm completely out of creamer, and I'm shaking up the whipped cream. At the bottom it's a little in there, so that's what I've been using as far as whipped cream. I had to use a little brown sugar yesterday and today for my coffee. Hopefully it's good. This time I put a little bit more than yesterday. Thank God it's good. Interesting enough, the brown sugar, the white sugar gets sweeter quicker than that brown sugar, but that brown sugar is good. You don't even taste it. It just add a little bit of sweet to it. I do have to go ahead and fix this tooth today. I don't know. Just like I said, have not felt like doing anything. Yesterday, instead of, because I'm working and I was hungry, and Jeremiah was out, so instead of holding on to the few dollars to go to the grocery store, since he was in Skokie, and I have not had a Jamaican food for 3-4 years since I've been here, and so he was like, "Mommy, up this way," and I'm like, "Oh my God." And then he goes and he's like, "Oh my God," he's like, "They don't sell the beef no more, the roast beef." I'm like, "What?" And of course the closest thing to the roast beef was the oxtails, and I don't eat oxtails. I just don't. Maybe if I didn't know what they were, I would. But they don't do the beef anymore, so I was like, dang. I went ahead and tried the jerk chicken. The one time I had it, it was good. But this time, y'all, it was not. It was not great. It was not good. It was just okay. Like, I felt like there was no juice. It was like the dry rub was on top or whatever. It wasn't the same. And then the fried plantain, there was only 2. Usually you get more. Like, I was not happy with it. I just had a few bites. Some of the rice, and I don't know what the vegetable was they had sliced up in there. I don't know if it was cabbage sliced thin or string beans, and I don't know what it was, but it was good. So I really didn't eat any of that. I left it in there because I figured jerk chicken Lavelle would like it. So when he got home, he was like, I said, "Help yourself." And I asked him, did he like it? He said it wasn't that good. I was like, that's what but my sister had sent over some stuff. I had that morning was some corn and shrimp, egg and potatoes, and then in another container was some potatoes, I think, and ham or corned beef maybe, and potatoes, which was good, but I didn't like the potatoes in that. It was the potatoes in that was soggy, but everything else was just excellent. Oh, my eyes itch. Everything else was excellent. So I had a little bit of that. I did have an orange yesterday, which was so good. The freaking orange was so sweet. She sent over a box of oranges and some almonds. And almonds, not so much. I probably won't eat. I love almonds, but my teeth can't take the anymore. But the orange last night, man, I had an orange last night and it was so good. Because I got a little hungry, but I didn't want to eat anything heavy. I was able to bring my weight back down to 186, but I want to get it down lower. Y'all know it's a every week thing. I don't stress on it over it too much, but if I can get it down, then we get it down. I'm just gonna do my best. I did yesterday because I knew I would be going with them to my dad's and Gwen's. And Gwen's daughter, my sister, she's gonna be cooking. Rakisha, she's gonna be cooking, so looking forward to that. I did try to do something with my head a little bit. It's a little difficult with the gray. It's gonna always look like it needs to be done, on top of the fact it needs to be done, right? And I'm just don't feel like it. So I did take some of the braids down in the back and redo it. I did put maybe 1 or 2 fresh braids in the front somewhere at the top, I don't know, but the rest I just kind of tightened it up. I did condition my hair and oil my hair because it was very dry. And then I put, edge control on the side. I had it twisted on the side like I normally do. And then I tied it down. But then it was hard to sleep because it was too tight. I took it down last night. It was really getting on my nerves. And I had it twisted up really nice. But again, I took it down because it was just too tight. So on my last break of the day, I will change. The weather's pretty nice. I had the windows open, but it was raining off and on. When I shut the windows, that's because it was raining. It was coming down, but it has since stopped. Early this morning, man, the lightning was just, my eyes was like, oh my God, like, and I'm laying right here in front of the window, and I was like, oh my God, I hope I don't get electrocuted. Like, the lightning was no joke. But the lightning has stopped. It was a little bit of rumble, a little bit of thunder, but mostly that lightning. It didn't crackle or anything like that. It's just the lights. And then, like I said, it was raining off and on, but it has stopped. But that is why I did shut the window. But that cool air was feeling so good. You hear the birds chirping, like, it's so beautiful. If I didn't have to work today, it would be amazing, but I do, and it's okay. I was thinking about maybe leaving early, maybe leaving at 3. Try to get as much as I can get done, and leave at 3, so that I could, get myself together and run to the store and just grab some things. I would only grab milk creamer, bread, lunch meat and cheese. That's it. Because my monies have been stretched already. Rent is due next week, and as always, I pay half and half because I would love to get back in a position where I'm paying the whole thing at once, but I'm always using my wrapper to get through the week for other things, and so that's still a struggle, because there's just so many things that keep happening and taking place, and I just believe in doing my best to be there for those around me. Doesn't matter. And I just trust that God will always be there for me, So I have no complaints in that area at all. I just try to stay mindful of what I'm doing not to overdo anything or underdo, if that makes sense. I don't know. I didn't have any crazy dreams last night, but I will say this: yesterday when I was working, my windows were up because I just was getting so hot, like, and I didn't bother changing today because this morning because I'm just gonna wait till like my last break of the day, and then I'll change. Or even when I get off, whenever time I decide to get off, then I'll put my clothes on. What I'm gonna wear, which is just some jogging pants and a white sweater. That's it. And hopefully I won't get too hot in the sweater. But because the weather's not bad, I figure the sweater would be perfect, right? So yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna wear. I was thinking about maybe a t-shirt and a like a vest, like kind of, I don't know. They didn't say dress up or anything, so yeah, I'm just gonna be casual and debating on if I'm gonna leave my hair like this or if I'm going to go ahead and twist it up, because all of this actually should be in a braid, but I just slick it back just because I'm lazy. And that's just being honest. I put the braids up quick when I put them up. Just because I knew I was just gonna pull it back, but I wanted it to be, as neat as possible. But I do have to remember to keep it oiled and whatnot, conditioned. I do need to put more hardener on because this is worn off on this finger. Yeah, I just need to do more hardener because hands been in the water, and bending and doing stuff, and I'm just trying not to break them. I'm trying to let them grow, and I did take the other ones out. If I had, I'm sure I don't have enough nail glue, but if I did, I would probably go ahead and shave these down and put them on. But right now it's so much easier to type and everything. See, it's almost the same as my nails anyway, so I would just glue it on, shave it down, and put the hardener on it, and rock it that way. And I still may do that at some point. Right now, no. So yeah, that's all I have today. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend planned. I don't have anything planned out whatsoever, and I'm glad about that. I just really, I don't know, just tired. My birthday is coming up April 9th, and I took that day off, and the next 2 days. My birthday, I believe, is on a Wednesday, so I took Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off, and I think I mentioned that before. And I don't have any plans on doing anything. I'm just gonna relax and enjoy being off. I really am. Just gonna enjoy being off. Oh, the point I was trying to make, the story I was telling was, when I was working yesterday, I had the windows open, so I had to close it though because it got loud. The guy was working on the fence next door, whatever. He just himself was loud, talking loud or whatever when he was talking. But I overheard a girl. She was on the phone talking to somebody, walking, and she said, F her, forget her. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go and get back with my man, and I'm just gonna do whatever he tell me to do. I don't know why when she said that, my man was thinking like, why can't you just be by yourself and do you, boo? Work on you. I know it's easier said than done because I've been there, but it's like, she said, I'm gonna go to get back with him and do whatever he tell me to do. So I'm thinking that F her was whoever he probably with now. I don't know. Whoever he with probably does everything he say do, whereas she probably did not. So I just thought that was funny and sad at the same time, y'all. At the same time. Hold on 1 second for me. But when she said it reminded me of hearing, like I said, these windows be up and you could just hear everything. Walls are thin, but you can hear whatever's going on in Washington. The cars go by, it don't matter. You hear everything, right? So I did overhear once before, and I remember talking about that, where a young lady, I was hanging out the window, I think, getting some air, and it was on one of my breaks, right? And the young lady was walking by, right? And she was talking to somebody on the phone. And she said, she was talking about her day and how how it was just going crazy, and this was happening, that was happening. And she said, and I only got one more blunt left to smoke. And she said, and to top it all off, me and my man ain't got back together yet. Just hearing some of the things that people say, and they say it out loud, so it ain't like, me talking about it is a big thing, because you broadcast it on the phone. And me and my baby dad, no, me and my man ain't even got back together yet. And I'm thinking, wow. just some of the things you hear come out of these young women's mouths, it's just like, we need to do better. We need to do better. And it's just not the young men. It be the young women, the young men too, and older men. I sit here and I listen to some of the older men, some of the stuff that come out their mouth. I just be like, oh my God. And some of them be saying stuff that makes sense, but the majority of them just be dumb crap, off the wall, stupid. Just off the wall, stupid stuff. And it just be like, wow, like, when will we stop? When will we grow up? It's just, I don't know. When will we treat one another with respect? When will we treat ourselves with respect? Even every now and then when I borrow the car and go to the store or whatever, and I see people throw stuff out the window, like open their door and throw the trash out, like it just every time I see it, my mind just be like, wow, like, you don't have a plastic bag in the car to put your garbage in, and then when you get out the car, you take your garbage with you. You just open the door and just, like, really? And I'm be honest with you, it don't just be black people that do this. It's white folks that do this too. Like, I'm watching, right? I was in one area, and it was not a bad area. It was it Franklin Park, I think it was. And this was a while ago. It was Franklin Park. I was on my way to North Lake. No, was it North Lake? North Lake, I think it was. Anyway, but I had to go through Franklin Park because I was coming through that place, and that's the route I took. And I'm waiting to make a left. I'm waiting at the light to make a left, and you could see across the bus stop, and there was this white lady, or was it a white guy, at the bus stop eating and just dropped the trash just dropped it. And I'm like, wow, how lazy and stupid, when not even 2 feet right there in at the bus stop was a trash can. So instead of you sitting at the seat eating, instead of getting up and just taking 1-2 step and putting it in the garbage, you just drop it on the ground, just let it go. And I'm thinking, unbelievable. Believable. Maybe they feel like nobody else can wash it out. But I'm thinking it would be embarrassing to me to do something like that. Regardless of what other people do, is what I would find that so embarrassing, to just drop trash and walk off, or to sit there. Unbelievable. So unbelievable. I was sitting in my car one time, letting it warm up, and I watched this girl come down the alley, walk past the garbage to her car, get in her car, shut the door, start her car, open the door back up, and toss all the trash in her car on the ground. Not put it in the bag and walk and put it in the garbage, which was a few feet behind her. No, just dump it. Like, I was just sitting there like, really? Did she just really? I guess she said, before I pull off, let me clean my car and dump it all right here in your car. Boo. All you had to do was put it in the bag and put it in the garbage. If you didn't want to put it in the garbage later, you could have just put it in the garbage right there. Get out your car with that bag, throw it in the garbage. You could have backed up and let your window down and put it in the garbage. But that's how close the garbage can was. $6.50. So why the need to toss it out? Don't know. I was totally like, wow, unbelievable. But anyway, guys, I hope you all, like I said, have an amazing weekend plan. Comment down below and let me know what you do this weekend. Last night, though, while I was laying in bed, I was just flicking through a lot of YouTube. I was just tired. I was like, whatever catches, my eye or whatever. And just was watching different stuff. And I think I had mentioned to y'all about Vegas Matt. I've been watching Vegas Matt for a while. They cracked me up. He said something, and I can't remember what it was he said, but I just started cracking up. I absolutely like Vegas Matt and crew. They just crack me up. It's Vegas Matt, his adult son, his 2 friends. It's Vegas Matt, it's W2B or W2G, I forgot. And then you got W2 Jesus or something. And then you got RJ, that's his son. And they just cracked me up. With some of the stuff that they be saying. It'd be so funny. And so anyway, Vegas Matt is a YouTuber. He gambles and makes a great deal of money doing it. Oh, and then you got Vegas Mom, which is his wife. And so I told y'all they were in Wisconsin at Potawatomi, and they did a really huge group pool, and it was really awesome to watch. Like, they had so many people there and just won so much money. And I've seen other group pools. Now, the only other group pool I see that was, or have seen in the past, that was a lot of people, was Brian Christopher. I like Brian Christopher too. There's others too. You got Cowboy Slots. I've never seen his group pool. I don't know if I think he's had one. I've never seen it. But there's a few that I watch. Vegas Matt. I watch Ruby and her husband, Brian Christopher. I started off watching Brian Christopher. He's the very first one I started watching. Ruby usually does like $20 Tuesdays. Like for low rollers, she'll go, and with $20 on Tuesdays and put $20 in 5 different machines and see what happens. And, she feels like their thing is if they get a bonus and it's $5 over, I think hers is $5 over the 20, or if they double, pull it out. Of course, she will do maybe 2 or 3 backup spins, but then they pull it out. There's another young lady, I forget her name though, and her husband that I watch. She does a lot of low rolling as well. Every now and then they'll, do a little bit of, high rolling. Not high rolling, but they'll bet more. Usually it's like 50 cent, the lower end where you got $20. You paying 50 cent till you build that bankroll, or you paying 80 cent, 75 cent, things like that. Every now and then you'll go up to $1.20, $2, that type of thing. I forget her name though. Her husband, I like them. And so her and her husband, Ruby and her husband, they do that. Ruby and her husband sometimes will bet high, but usually they stay low. Those are the only ones I think. And of course, every now and then you look at other people here and there, but those really are the only ones that I watch. And like I said, Cowboy Slots, I watch him a lot sometimes. He explains a lot of stuff. And there's another one, Kung Fu something. He's pretty good too. Yeah. But these guys, it's so funny because it's not funny, but Brian Christopher was like, actually all of them were saying, "What, we're going to work today." A lot of them get up and go gamble. That's how they make their money. Instead of working an 8-hour job, they go in and gamble and they have fun doing it. But again, you have to have the money to do that. The other husband and wife, they come after work. They'll get up and go to work, and then after they'll go and play the slots. It's like job number 2, And so I was just thinking through, and it was a segment, but I didn't watch it. I think I had fallen asleep. But it was a segment where they were talking about they were talking about some of these slot players and how they they're YouTubers, but they've made so much money, not just being on YouTube, but for playing the slots. Like, people watch them to see if they're gonna win. People watch them when they're losing, and they're always promoting and talking about responsible, gambling. If you feel like you have an issue, or you may be addicted, or whatever the case may be, seek assistance. Sorry. Yeah, so jeez, all these, when you click through a lot of stuff, you see it be some things you just don't be expecting to see. Teen assassinated on Facebook Live. Another teen was killed on Facebook by his best friend, shot 7 times. Like, much craziness. Zanania though, I'm so proud of her. She just bought her first home. She just got her first home. I'm so proud of her. Couple sentenced to centuries for enslaving adopted black kids. Wow. The stuff that still go on today. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, y'all. Anyway, sometimes it's just I get tired of watching TV sometimes, you know. I do enjoy watching a lot of the RV, y'all know that, van lifers and things like that. I enjoy watching them, I really do. um, Murder, it's just so much going on. It's just too much going on. You have all these young men that are gay and hiding it and don't want it to come out. And the minute they feel threatened, they murder somebody. You know, usually they love her. It's just sad. It's just sad. And then you got all these women having plastic surgery. And then when the plastic surgery go wrong, they crying and they upset. They this, that. Like, stop. Just your natural body. I understand certain situations need help. I get that. I truly, honestly do. But a lot of the unnecessary. Like yesterday, I watched. Totally off the topic. I watched on YouTube, and this is obviously old, I'm sure, because a lot of stuff, mostly everything I watch is old. It already happened, you know, obviously. But I had saw where Michael Jordan's mom, she I have to say, Halle Berry, is it Haley? Yeah, Halle Berry. Her son looks just like her. He looks a bit like his dad too, but he looks just like his mom. He's so cute. Um, who was I finna say? Oh, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's mom. She, on her birthday, her 81st birthday, she had went to this very exclusive, expensive shop, and she wanted to go in and buy herself something for her birthday, right? And when she tried to go in, the doorman, he didn't let her in. He told her. So what happened was, while she was standing there deciding on going in, a couple went in before her. They went in, and he opened the door, welcomed them, so on and so forth. And then when she tried to go in, he stopped her and told her no, it was closed. She said, but people just went in. And he's like, it's closed for a private event and they're on the list. And she was like, okay. And it made her feel really bad, right? She had other questions for him. I forget everything exactly that happened. But another young lady on the inside, she saw this. She was folding her clothes. Also, y'all, sometime I watch Turn It Up. They are van lifers, but they also play the slots too. Anyway, so it was a girl. She was folding clothes, and she's looking at what he's doing, and he's done it before. She's seen him do it before, where he'll look at somebody how they're dressed, and he'll decide that this ain't the store for them, right? He wants to maintain its exclusivity or whatever. And so she was in the store and she seen this, and the manager, somebody was there, and she was like, should we be letting her in? Should we let people in? And whoever it was, her immediate manager, I guess, told her, man your own station. Don't worry about what he doing, man, your station. And she was like, man, it bothered her, but she didn't want to lose her job. You know what I'm saying? Because she said, this is how I pay my rent. And she's like, the clothes in here cost more than her rent. And she was like, she didn't want to lose her job, so she didn't say anything, but it bothered her. She said for some reason, this bothered her even more. She couldn't understand why, but it just bothered her that he would do that yet again. And so she went home, Miss Jordan, and then it started raining and everything. And she said she's too old to cry because she's been through way worse, right? It's just sad that things like this still go on, so anyway, she went home. Of course, Michael Jordan and her other children were calling her for her birthday and this, that, and the other. And, she didn't want to talk about it at first. It was the next day when he called us, happy birthday, Mom, da da da. And he was talking to her. He could look at the expression and, tell her voice that something was wrong. She talked to him about it. She said, I feel a little bit better now that I got it off my chest or whatever. But his whole tone kind of changed. He continued to be nice and this, that, and the other, but she knew how he sounded, that the wheels was turning in his head. She was like, listen, I didn't tell you that for you to do anything about it, da 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 da. He's like, oh, don't worry, Mom. I won't do anything to embarrass my mother, da 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 da. But she knew it was something behind that. He had asked her the name of the doorman that turned her away. And so he went to his office and he asked his assistant to look up the name of the store, look up who owns the store, da 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 da. Long story short, he bought the store. So he sent invitations to all of them, and they already knew that there was a new owner. The manager, had already gotten that call, but they didn't know who the new owner was or anything like that. And so they were like, are we going to be getting fired? Are we going to this, that? She's like, I don't know anything yet. I have been assured right now that nothing has changed or will change. So they ended up getting invitations 3 days later. To show up 3 days later at an event there where they would meet who the new owner was going to be and so on and so forth. And so 3 days later, he sent his mom an invitation and everything too. So of course 3 days later, this whole big fancy thing or whatever, and so the doorman's letting people in and stuff. Here comes Miss Jordan again. I don't even think he really recognized her. And so because she had on like a nice black formal, dress or gown or whatever. And, he lets her in. They go in and everybody's mingling and stuff. And so then they're like, can I have everyone's attention, please? And so lo and behold, on the staircase comes Michael Jordan. And so everybody's looking, this, that, and the other. He goes on to say, explained that, he bought the store and why and so on and so forth. Well, a little bit why. No, he introduced himself, and then he says, I would like to introduce my mom. And she comes out, and everybody's looking, and the doorman's like, don't I know her face? And then he realized who she was. And the young lady, she knew too, the one that wanted to help but couldn't because she didn't want to lose her job, wanted to say something. And so she smiled when she saw the lady standing up there, and she looked at her, did this, and his mom smiled at her too and nodded her head like it's okay, because she knew, like, I couldn't do anything, and she understood that situation. And so Michael began to explain, my mom came here 3 days ago on her birthday, and because she wasn't dressed the part, she was turned away and treated unfairly and not nicely. And he told a story about, how she, worked so many jobs to take care of them and this, that, and the other. And he said, I will always take care of my mom and do this, that, other, blah, blah, blah. And so Vincent was standing over there looking crazy and in the corner, kind of cowardly. Back Jordan made a point of looking directly at him multiple times, letting him know, oh yeah, bro, you. And so then he told everybody, enjoy yourself. He said further instructions and things will come to follow. He said, but right now, just enjoy yourself. Right now there's not many changes. He did let them know that the change that was going to come was that it's going to be like a community thing where it's not going to be just for the uppities, the rich folks that can afford. It's going to be for whoever can come in here and want to buy something and can afford it. They don't have to be dressed all super fancy and this, that, and the other. That's not right. You know what I'm saying? To have stuff, to sell stuff that is thousands and thousands of dollars, that is only limited to certain people. You know what I'm saying? It should be limited to everyone who can afford it. And for those who are having a hard time affording it, we're going to come up with something to help those people. Because you got a lot of people out here, single moms, single dads, families, whole families that are working hard and want to also experience and enjoy finer things, and they should not have to deal with stuff like this. They should be allowed to enjoy the experience as well. So it was a whole thing, a whole movement type thing, and it was a good one. And I'm glad he did it, and I'm glad she mentioned it to him, because he could have been more correct. Like, no one should have to go through that. So guys, I didn't talk to y'all too long. I'm supposed to be. I don't know why stuff is not charging. It's really starting to piss me off. Let me turn this down. Okay, that's off. Let's let this charge. I'm gonna let my tablet, everything charge. I'm gonna go ahead and get to work. I already restarted my computer. I will talk to you guys later. It's 7:12. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready. Again, I want you guys to enjoy your Friday and enjoy your weekend. Be safe, be responsible, be smart, be wise, be kind. Treat people the way the Lord would. Pray for all our brothers and sisters in Christ, and expect great things. Expect great things, wonderful things to happen to you, through you, and for you. Okay? On this day. Honestly, and not just this day, but every day, y'all. Every day. Expect great things. Expect great things. I will talk to you guys a little bit later. Until then, bye. I'm on my break. I just got a few moments left, but I just had to share with y'all. It's so beautiful out here. Beautiful. It done rained. The air is fresh and feeling good. It didn't rain. It looks clean. Oh my gosh, it's just amazing, y'all. Amazing. I'm just enjoying this weather. Hopefully y'all can see me. Everybody went to the store. Oh, it's so beautiful out, y'all. It's so beautiful out. Ooh, what a pretty green Charger. It's like a olive green. Beautiful color green. Wow. That was pretty. I just saw somebody come out, and I know they're not a very good parker driver. I'm curious if they're gonna get out this car, out this spot without hitting somebody's car. Yep, but they did. They must be finna park in front of the house. It is so nice, y'all. The birds are chirping. It is beautiful. I love it. It's chilly, but it's not freezing. It's just it's definitely chilly. Oh, I got a headache. Oh, I have a headache so bad, so bad. So yeah, I do have to definitely go and get a few things from the store, because this going and grabbing stuff every day is just too much. But like I said, I just been too tired to do anything, and they have not really been here because they've been working. You know, they got these notes, these cars that got to be paid. You know, they need the vehicles to work. So, you know, so today, hopefully, I'll be able to grab a few things. If not today, tomorrow, for sure, I'll get out and get some stuff. Lavelle has to work tomorrow. I'm not sure Jeremiah's schedule tomorrow as of yet. But right now he just ran to the store, and then he'll be back. He did say he had a job to do, so I'm not sure what time he's gonna do that. But yeah. Sometimes people just be blowing, I feel like, because they don't know what they're doing. It was totally no reason for that guy to blow. Of course, he was blowing because he knew somebody. That's a possibility as well. Always a possibility. These buildings across the way, they got parking in the back. So nice. It's enough room for it, that's for sure, because the building is definitely, you know, big and wide. You know, it's multiple apartments and things. Every day you hear the ambulance. Hopefully everybody's okay. See the ambulance or the police. Oh jeez. Anyway guys, gotta go. 9:27, break is over. I will talk to y'all later. Bye. Hey guys. It is 11:18. My lunch is at 11:15 until 11:45. I'm just taking a quick break. I am so tired. I really am. Like, I just found myself getting so sleepy. And then they asked us, they said that there was so many calls in the queue and they needed us to get on the phone and at least take 2 calls. So my one call was more than 2 calls because I was stuck, kind of like. I had a doctor call, was calling back actually, and he wanted to know the copay amount. He wanted me to run the claim and get the copay amount. I was like, I can't do that, for HIPAA reasons, he says, okay, well, he says I have the mom on the line. The child is only 12, so obviously the mom. I was like, okay, so I go to run it based off of what was already done, the previous rep. And I got to one point where instead of, normally when I run it, I just keep hitting yes to the end and it gave me the information. But in this case, it did not. It stopped. And it's because it was saying something about a copay, we need a copay code. I was like, oh my God. And so, actually, something about a copay. So anyway, I ended up having to call the assist line. The information that he was giving me, we already had it in the system, so I was like, okay, good, I don't have to input and change anything, but I did have them holding for a while until I figured, let me just go ahead and call the assistance line because I am stuck here. So I called. She did the exact same thing that I did, but that one part where I got stuck at, she said to click close. No, what did she say? To click on it and then click number 3. Always number 3. And see, I didn't know that, and I may have and just didn't remember it, obviously. So once we did that, we went back, got the copay code, entered where it needed to go, and then reran it, and it went through. Her copay was still high, but the rep said, to check and see if there was a virtual card available as well. It usually is. And so I mentioned that, and the doctor was like, well, how about we run this then? And she was like, the mom was like, no, we already did that. She says, I already did that with them. And she said the other way was more expensive. So I was so glad about that. But doctor did go ahead and say he'll call and follow up on that and get back with us. So I was happy about that. And then I quickly was asking the young lady, is the queue clear? She was like, not quite, but you can go ahead and go back over. I was like, thank you, Jesus. Which, at this point now I'm rushing because in taking time to get on the phone, which the phones are more important, I understand that, but doing that, it took me away from what I was doing, which, now would make it longer for me to get through everything. So I started rushing. And the reason why was because the first part of my task, I wasn't paying attention. And so part of the second, I would have never had to worry about because part of it would have already been done. But because I did some, but didn't do all because it dawned on me at the last minute. But whatever. I'm going through it pretty quickly. So I let her know. I worked as quick as I can for those 15 minutes. And then I let her know I'm going on lunch now at 11:15. When I come back at 11:45, because I had told her I would do the summary report at 12, like yesterday. My list I did fine this morning. I just forgot to add somebody on, corrected that, sent it out. So when I come back from lunch at 11:45, I will use that 15 minutes to bust my butt and finish that list, and then at 12 do my summary and hope they don't ask us to get on the phones, but at 12 do my summary report. Hopefully I should have that done by 12:15 or later than maybe 12:20, and then I can make my calls. Hopefully I won't have a lot to call, but I can make my call out at, if everything go to plan, 12:30. I can be on the phone making my calls. Hopefully by 1 be done with that, and then I can spend the rest of the time entering all that information onto the tracker and then the notes, and then I'll be done with my list, and then I can maybe either take on a few more or let her know I'm done for the day and leave a little early, which is what I would really like to do. don't really want to do because, you leave early, that's, well, I could always use that PTO time, but still, especially because it's busy. So I'm hoping I don't have to get on the phones, and then that way, I could do a little bit more, and then my last break of the day, change my clothes and stuff. No, I'll probably still wait till 4. Because 9 times out of 10, my sister will be here about 5. So it won't take me long to get ready. So between 4 and 4:30, I should be ready. As long as I'm done at 4. That's what I'm worried about. Because I have been doing a little over. So maybe I'll leave an hour early. Maybe I'll do that. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, We'll see how it goes. Yeah. I just really want to lay down, close my eyes. So I'm laying here. I figure if I lay down, I'll be okay. Crazy cat laying down over there stretched out. He was in the hallway right in front of Jeremiah's room door. But as soon as I came out, I guess he said, let me mess with her a bit. Because I put him out of my room. When Jeremiah came in there, he came in with Jeremiah, and I was like, oh no, because he keeps going drinking the water, the plant water. So I was like, Chapo, you gotta go. And he came in, laid on top of my Bible. I was like, of all the places to lay, you gonna lay on my Bible, huh? And I guess he got the idea. Either that or he followed Jeremiah, because I noticed I didn't see him. And when I came out, he was in front of Jeremiah's door. So yeah, anyway, guys, just lay here for a minute, and then I'm gonna get back to it. Talk to y'all later. Bye.